Moving on, we will talk about green revolution. Now green revolution was a change in the field of agriculture that happened, because of which India's growth in agriculture became very good. So what is green revolution? We will do right now. Green revolution took place in our country in the decade of 1960. But before that, there was a time when there was an acute shortage of food grains in the country. An agrarian country had to import food grains. The country was struggling against such dependent condition. So what happened was that agriculture revolution happened in the last years of 1960s. Okay, but before that, we were a country which was whose economy was dependent on agriculture. Okay, our finances were dependent on agriculture, but India's condition was such that we did not have food. Okay, and we had to ask for food from other country, we had to take food from other country, and we were struggling, we were depending on the other nations for our food. So there was a revolution which happened in the field of agriculture, and because of that, okay, we became exporting country. Okay, first, the extraordinary increase in the agriculture production because of the improved seed, increased use of chemical fertilizer, intense efforts of the farmer, widespread arrangement of electricity distribution, improvement facilities in agriculture, etc. is known as green revolution. So what happened was that the agriculture production became very fast. It increased. Okay, the crop production, the agriculture production increased. And why did the agriculture and crop production increase? Because the seeds were improved, because we started using chemical fertilizers, because the farmers started putting lots and lots of efforts into farming. Okay, they started realizing that it is high time that we farmers take the responsibility of looking after our lands. So there was lot of mehnat done by the farmers. There was government made sure that every farm had electricity, every farm had good irrigation facilities, and all these things are included in your green revolution. Main objective of green revolution was to increase agriculture production. So what was the main aim, what was the main agenda of the green revolution? That increase agriculture production. Okay, farmers were encouraged to use chemical fertilizer and insecticides more. This led to attain target to increase the agriculture productions. So farmers were told that use chemical fertilizer, use insecticides to kill the insects, and because of all these things, the agriculture production increased. There has been a record of production of wheat and paddy due to green revolution. Now because of the green revolution, okay, your paddy, that is rice, and your wheat production became a lot. Especially in Punjab, the wheat production increased a lot, and that is all because of your green revolution. Where there was scarcity of food grain in the country, today there is sufficient storage for food grains. So what happened earlier? Scarcity એટલે less. Earlier we had less food in the country, but now we have lot of food, and we have stored food also. We have stored all these food grains. Okay, that is why how right now in COVID condition, in corona condition, the government is giving food grains to the people. How are we able to give the food grains? Because we have enough food grains in the country. Okay, once a drought was a hazard of regular interval in India. Its adverse effects are not seen after the green revolution due to the buffer stock of food grains. The condition of the drought or the scarcities are faced conveniently. So what happened was there was a drought એટલે વરસાદ ન પડે, પાણી ખતમ થઈ જાય. તો એ point of time પર farmers did not have crops. Okay, because farmers could not grow crops because it was not raining. So farmers were always scared that okay, if it is not going to rain this time, I will not be able to grow my crops. So not having a drought, okay, was a big risk in India. And in India we know that rains are not regular. Look at Bhavnagar this time. We hardly have rains. Last year it rained so much. This year hardly any rains. Okay, so the farmers are often scared of the droughts, but now we are not scared of the droughts because of the food grains we use. They require less water, they require very little water. Now, because irrigation facilities are improved, we are no longer dependent only on rains, and because of that, the risk or the fact that the crop would fail because of the drought or because of less water condition or because of no water, that risk is now become less or it's now gone away. The self-sufficiency in the food grains is a landmark historical achievement of green revolution. Self-sufficiency એટલે કે હવે મારી પાસે sufficient crops અને grains છે મારા country માટે. That is called self-sufficiency. Now there are enough food grains in the country to survive, and that is one of the big achievement of the green revolution. Today the production of cash crop has increased and the production of pulses and other cereal has decreased with the repetition of the same crop. To reach a stage where other countries of the world have progressed using better technology in agrarian field, we will have to be ready for the next green revolution. So now what has happened is that we are dependent a lot on cash crops. That is cotton, coffee, tea. All these are the cash crops because you get lot of money from that. So farmers are growing lot of cash crops instead of growing cereals, instead of growing dal. Okay, so production of dal and all these things have reduced, and people are now increasing the production of cash crops. Now what has happened, we have become self-sufficient, we have improved in the field of agriculture, but we still have a very long way to go because there are many countries who have done excellent in the field of agriculture. They have moved great heights in the field of agriculture, and it is high time that we should have another green revolution in order to modernize the agrarian field. Agrarian એટલે agriculture field.